Hey, Retcon Raider here. Today officially marks the end of my 7th month since I first started my YouTube channel. So today I thought we'd go ahead and take a quick look back over the past month and see how I've been doing. First of all, I'm happy to say that my numbers have started trending upwards again. While I wasn't really worried about it, I did note over the past few months that the channel was beginning to lose a bit of momentum. But we definitely managed to turn things around in November. According to the analytics, my channel received roughly 90,000 views and about 250 new subscribers throughout November. That's actually twice the number of subscribers that I got in the month of October, and over 3 times as many views. Of course, that's due in large part to the unexpected success of the short Darkest Dungeon video I threw together near the end of October. Apparently, it really caught on because it ended up accounting for over half of my total views throughout November, and it's currently sitting at 53,000 views and 666 likes. Now, when it comes to Darkest Dungeon, it's safe to say that I'm a fan. I backed the original crowdfunding campaign on Kickstarter, and I've sunk over 200 hours into the game since it was first released through Steam's Early Access program. The only reason I held off on talking about it for so long was because I was worried that there was already an oversaturation of videos about Darkest Dungeon on YouTube. But as the numbers clearly seem to show, there was apparently room for at least one more. So with that in mind, I've decided I'm going to start slowly moving forward on a Darkest Dungeon Let's Play series. I'm still trying to decide exactly how I want to approach it, and I'd be happy to hear suggestions on what you'd like to see. I'm not exactly sure when I'll actually start the series, but for now I thought I'd at least officially announce that I'm starting up a waiting list for viewers who would like to have their name, or a name of their choice, attached to one of the hapless adventurers that I will no doubt be sending to their certain dooms. I'll be filling out the waiting list on a first-come, first-served basis, though I will be giving priority to some of my patrons. It's the least I can do for them, considering how much they've already done to help support the channel while YouTube gets their demonetization bots under control. And speaking of the bots, well, look, I know that you're all probably pretty tired of hearing about YouTube's shenanigans by this point. Their automated content scanning algorithms and demonetization bots have been a disaster, and pretty much every single content creator on YouTube has said so by this point. So I won't waste too much of your time repeating it here. Just suffice to say, things haven't been getting any better on that front. While I generally hate to complain, I at least want my viewers to be informed, so I've gotten into the habit of pinning a comment on every one of my videos that ends up getting partially or fully demonetized by YouTube's current automated system. That way, my viewers can get a better idea of just how serious the current problem is. As if the demonetization bots weren't already bad enough, now we have to deal with Wave 3 of the adpocalypse. Honestly, that's such an unpleasant topic that I'm barely even going to mention it. You can look it up if you really want the unsavory details, but let's just say that in addition to YouTube incorrectly demonetizing up to 80% of all my videos, the current wave of the adpocalypse is cutting my remaining ad revenue in half. But hey, it is what it is, and I'm certainly not going to let it stop me from making videos about the games that I love to play. In fact, throughout November, I actually broke yet another personal record, uploading a total of 35 videos. That's an average of just over 1 video per day. This is thanks in large part to the people who have been generous enough to help support my channel through my new Patreon account. As I've said before, I was hesitant to start up a Patreon account in the first place because I was worried about how it might look, but now I'm glad I decided to go ahead and get it started. Thanks to the generosity of my patrons, I could just focus on playing games and making videos about them, rather than on stressing out over YouTube's ridiculous new content policies. I certainly don't want to make a habit of begging for money, so let me make this quick. If you enjoy my videos and you'd like to help me make more, then I'd be personally grateful if you'd at least check out my new Patreon. All that money goes directly towards paying my monthly production costs, things like recurring software and internet bills, as well as purchase costs for hardware upgrades and new games to talk about. That said, let's move on. So, now that November is over, what have I got planned for December? Well, at the moment, I don't think there's anything too exciting. A lot of the big games that I was really looking forward to have officially been pushed back into 2018, so this month I'll probably be focusing on a lot of smaller, more obscure indie titles. At the moment, I'm actually putting together a couple of videos about a new game called Atom RPG, which was successfully crowdfunded earlier this year, and I plan on making at least a few more videos about some of the other games I've already talked about. Games like All Walls Must Fall, Deep Sky Derelict, Pillars of Eternity 2, and Star Traders Frontiers. I'll also be continuing my ongoing Let's Plays for Battle Brothers and War of the Chosen. At the moment, those two series are keeping me pretty busy, so I probably won't start a new ongoing Let's Play until one of them officially ends. But given that I'm already at least 2/3 of the way through War of the Chosen, it's just a matter of time before I can finally start up a new ongoing series. Aside from that, I'll be pushing forward with some other hardware upgrades. Nothing too exciting, but thanks to the new Patreon and the seasonal Black Friday sales, I can finally afford to get my computer rebuilt. My new rig will have more hard drive space, more RAM, and a much quieter cooling system, which should allow me to make videos a little faster and a little easier than before. My next goal will be further upgrades to my recording area, so I can filter out background sounds a little more easily. While my current setup is serviceable, I still have to stop recording whenever it starts raining, or when someone starts mowing their lawn, or when my cats really want attention. Oh, and for what it's worth, while I didn't manage to get any custom art or music for the channel this month, I did finally set up an official Facebook page for the channel. I know. For most of you, something like setting up a Facebook page is a trivial task. But don't forget, I'm a dinosaur when it comes to social media. I always assumed that Facebook was just that thing you use to complain about coworkers and share pictures of your cats. But I guess now I'll be using it to post links to my latest videos, and to make official announcements about the channel. Assuming I remember to actually do that on a regular basis. At any rate, I think we can all agree that I've already spent too much time talking about myself today, so let's go ahead and start winding things down. Before we wrap things up, let me just say thanks. Thanks to all of you who have been watching and sharing my videos. And special thanks to those of you who have been generous enough to help support the channel through Patreon. Speaking of which, I'd also like to give special thanks to my Honorary Raiders, James Trimmier, Purge, and Woe77. And I'd like to give extra special thanks to my Veteran Raiders, Mildly Nuclear, Nazzul, Sir Skelibate, Rowan Church, Laura, and Mike. Thanks guys, I wouldn't be able to keep doing this without your support. And as always, if you've got any questions, comments, suggestions, or even just snide remarks that you'd like to send in my direction, feel free to contact me in the comments section of any of my videos, or you can reach me through my new Facebook page, my new Patreon account, or my official email. Links are in the description.